I'm breaking down the Amiro U1 Ultralift, which is a new beauty device with unique ultrasound technology that claims to get to the deepest layers of the skin to build large amounts of collagen that is supposed to significantly improve its overall elasticity and firmness, particularly this jowl area. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. Let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Jodylynn and thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, welcome. We talk about ways to take care of the skin with a good skincare routine, SPF daily, and the help of beauty devices. I've been using beauty devices for 4 years. I do not go in office for any type of procedures, and I didn't even start my skincare routine till I was 47 years of age. And I feel that I've really turned back the hands of time. And I'd say just recently, I'm 52 years old, and I feel like I'm really feeling good about where my skin has gone over these last 4 years. So if that's something that you're interested in, please subscribe. I would love to have you. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the claims that Amiro is saying that this device is supposed to do. I'm also going to be sharing with you the technology, and I've got some before and afters, 2 months worth of before and afters that we're going to discuss, and then my final thoughts on this device. Let's get started. So what does this do? This is a lifting and firming device. It uses ultrasound technology. I'm going to go deep into that because it is so important in what makes this device super unique. It is supposed to lift the skin, this is key, from the same layer as facelift surgery. Okay, that's big. All right. I was sold right then. Without getting a facelift, yeah, let me know. Let me know how that is done. It is supposed to increase collagen to treat all signs of aging, sagging skin, and jawline, fine lines, and wrinkles. The energy of this device penetrates deep into the SMAS layer for instant and long-lasting results. They are also saying there is zero damage and no downtime. I can attest to that. And very importantly, there's no heat. So if you are have been I don't want to do RF because of the heat, you might want to look into this because there's no heat on here at all. Amiro has also done third-party testing, and these are the results of those tests. The device is 15 watts, and what's in the box is obviously the device. You're also getting mask, which I'm going to talk about. And yes, you are going to need these. It's very important. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Also a conductive gel. And then of course, cables and all of that. But that all comes in the box to get you started. Also, what's really important to note is that when you get the device, the manual will be in Chinese. You can get in English, and how you do that is by going to the website, clicking on the U1 device, click on specifications, and then you see the manual. You're just going to click it. It will download it for you. It's in English, and that's going to help you to know how to use the device. Okay, it's very easy to use, but there are some things I really suggest, especially with this device and new technology, that you read through it from beginning to end, because there are things that you need to know before even using the device and who should not be using this device. That's really important as well. So you can look at that right now before even purchasing the device, which I think is wonderful. So let's talk about the technology of this device because it's super cool. It uses ultrasound technology. That technology isn't new. It's been used in office for skin rejuvenation and also other things for decades. But Amiro has been able to take the U1 and has been able to take that technology and put it into an at-home device with the same technology as professional treatments, with safety features for at-home use, which of course is key. And I know many of you are going to say, is this going to melt fat from my face? It is not, because they've got those safety features in place so that it will not do that. So the ultrasound waves are targeted to penetrate deep into the SMAS layer of the skin, which is the same layer manipulated in advanced facial procedures like facelifts. So how does that differ from radiofrequency? When we're talking about at home radiofrequency devices and at-home ultrasound, you can see that the at-home radiofrequency devices get to the dermis, okay, which is good. That's great. And you guys know I've seen amazing results with radiofrequency. This device, though, as you can see, goes even deeper. It gets to the SMAS layer of the skin, okay? So that is really important because it is supposed to stimulate collagen production from deep within to dramatically lift and tighten and provide younger skin. My big question was, why does targeting it produce such transformational results? Okay, so this is the answer after really diving deep in some research that I did, is that it is actually the SMAS layer. It's underneath the fat, but above the muscle. It is a fibrous network and it's on the face and the neck. It gives structure and support to the overlying skin. So as we age, that SMAS loses density and elasticity, which is going to cause those jowls, loose skin, and premature aging. So conventional skincare can only treat the surface layer, that top or get to the dermis layer. But the U1 is going to be getting to that really deep layer to reverse signs of aging from really deep within the skin. And that layer being manipulated is really going to help to produce that collagen in a much different way. So what I also found out that's really important to note is that SMAS is a key structure involved in facial aging. Understanding the anatomy and dynamics of the SMAS of this layer is critical for healthcare providers specializing in facial rejuvenation procedures, particularly facelifts. And from my understanding, this is the area that is being manipulated during in-office treatments, such as ultrasound and plastic surgery. So what's very interesting, and I'm going to quote this, I'm going to put this up. This is from a plastic surgeon. And he states that the SMAS represents the deeper tissues in the face. It is a well-recognized fact that the SMAS must be tightened to achieve a tight, natural, and long-lasting facelift. Some surgeons do not routinely treat the SMAS tissues when performing the facelift surgery. So these types of lifts simply do not last as long as when the SMAS is being treated. So he says, beware of a skin-only facelift, as it may be faster and cheaper, but will not last as long. So I wanted to share that with you because this device is supposed to get deep into that layer and help to produce the collagen in that area of the skin, which is really going to help this lower part of the face, which we all know that is an area of our concern as we are aging. It is not going to cause facial fat loss, which I already said, because they've got safety measures in place for it not to do that. Let's talk about the modes and intensities of this device. There are 3 modes, and each mode has 3 intensity levels. I always say start out at level 1. They have the sensitive stamping mode, and they also have a daily mode. Okay, the sensitivity and the normal stamping method, you are going to use their masks, and you only do that as a very deep treatment, and you need the mask. Okay, so you really need to keep that in mind. This is not something that you can use that mode without this mask. I've tried it also just with other masks. It doesn't work. It doesn't conduct. So just kind of keep that in mind. These are not, they're not that cheap. They're like $40. I always get them on sale. So you're only going to use these though 1 to 2 times a week. That's all you need to do the deep penetration stamping method, and it's about an 8-minute treatment. Now the daily mode, you're going to use their conductive gel. Okay, super simple, super easy. It is a 3-minute treatment, and that mode can be used daily. So how I used it, again, 1 to 2 times a week. Actually, I did it more twice a week most of the time. And then I did the daily mode about 5 to 6 times a week. So let's talk about how you use it. The daily mode is really super simple. You're going to put gel on your face, and then you are going to go like this. Start here, and you're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I like to also spend time underneath here. It is a minute treatment, and then you're going like this for the forehead. Super simple, 3 minutes. When you're using the mask, you will see when you put it on the face, there are numbers. You are going to go in numeric order. So you'll start with 1. And when you do this, this is really important to note that the head, okay, don't puncture this either. There's like some sort of like water or liquid in there, but this is very important that you keep this shielded and guarded. You're always going to want to put the top on after you are done. But when you're doing the stamping mode, the entire probe needs to be on the skin, okay? Flush. Not like that, not like that, not like this. So make sure that it's flush. It will not conduct otherwise. That's really important to note. You will know that this is conducting because you will hear it. So once you put the probe, okay, on area 1, you're just gonna sit it there and you will hear and feel a little bit of a vibration. And then you'll hear like it's penetrating, and then it goes and you'll hear that ending vibration, and that's going to let you know that you are now pulling it off completely. Do not slide. That's really important. You pull it off completely, go to the second area, and you do the same thing. You're going to do your whole face 3 times. It's about an 8 to 10 minute treatment. Okay. Let's talk about some cons of this device. This is a very solid device. It is definitely a little bit heavier in the hand than the S1, and it's very smooth. Okay. It can be problematic if you've got a lot of gel on you. If your hands, it can get kind of slippery. So just make sure that you always got something you're going to want to wipe off your gel so it's not slipping around. I didn't have any problems with it, but just kind of keep that in mind. Another thing was that I noticed for me that the conduction around the perimeter of the face was a little bit hard to conduct. I would really have to play with it. And I think it's because my face is a little bit more bony in these areas rather than that tissue. And so that's kind of my thought process. I'm thinking that if it's a lot of bone, that it's probably not going to conduct as easily. So I really kind of had to play with it just on these the green areas. Usually it was the ones that were back here and also right here on the forehead was a little bit tricky for me. I wasn't concerned about that though, because where I really want this device to work for me was right here. This is where I wanted it to hurt, and this cheek area, the jowl and the cheek area. That's where I wanted it to work, and it did. I had no problems. So that for me wasn't a big deal. All right, so who is this device going to be for? This is going to be, if you have sensitive skin, I think, and you have heat-related issues, I think this is device going to be for you. However, it is pricey. Okay, there's no doubt about it. But I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Also, if you are super scared, and no matter what I tell you, that radio frequency might melt the fat on your face, which it's not going to. I've been using radio frequency for 4 years, but if I can't convince you, there's no heat in this. So you may want to check this out. So I think this is really for anyone, especially if you've got really advanced signs of aging for sagging jowls. I'm thinking this device is definitely going to be helpful for you. Can it do something that a facelift can do if you've got really advanced signs of aging? I cannot personally attest to that. Obviously, I mean, I don't know, and I haven't seen any results from anyone using it that has a really, advanced signs of aging in that area. I definitely think it's going to improve, but to what point? Obviously, I cannot tell you that. Let's get into my before and afters. I'm going to tell you how I use this device because I think that's really important to note. I use the deep penetration mode with the mask 2 times a week, and then the daily mode I used 5 to 6 times a week. I also used red light therapy. I've been using that for 4 years. And I also used microcurrent occasionally because I love microcurrent. And I've been using that for 4 years. I did not use any other type of radiofrequency ultrasound device during this time. And of course, my normal skincare routine. All right, let's go ahead and look at my before and after photos. So the before photo, just so you know, this was taken after a 26-day European adventure, and the last week and a half, I really didn't do my beauty devices and was just exhausted. I think you can definitely see that on my face. So in the after, I Please do not look at my forehead either, because I have done a different treatment on my forehead. So we are just looking at the bottom part of the face. Video coming soon on this, so make sure you're subscribed. But I think that you can tell that this looks just a bit more smooth and tight around the cheek and lower jaw area. But something I want to kind of point out to you, and let's just look at the before. These are black and white photos. Like, I do feel that this is more smooth, a little bit more tight. But would it be any different than what I was doing before? Like, this is radio frequency over here. So this is 30 days of using the SlimX. That was an EMS device that I used, which was by Joe's. And I stopped radio frequency during these 30 days. Okay, so this was a radio frequency over here that I used. I stopped my radio frequency and just over here used the SlimX for 30 days. And I felt that my skin was a little bit more plump. Okay, so when we look at after SlimX and after 60 days of the U1, I'm just not seeing any more additional changes. I think that my skin is in pretty good condition, but I guess what I'm trying to get at is I'm not sure that's superior over radio frequency. I would like to give this a good go for maybe 6 or 7 months to see if it can do anything additional than radio frequency. But at this point, I would say that to me, it seems to be pretty comparable in my opinion. So let's go ahead and take a look at the full journey from beginning of SlimX before and then all the way to the after 60s of U1. So you just kind of get a good idea here. But I'd love to know your thoughts. I love the device. I think it's great. If you're scared about radio frequency, you know, in the heat, you may want to check this out. But at this point, I do not feel that I can really state that it is superior to radio frequency for an at-home device. Any questions? Let me know. Let's talk about the price tag on here. It's almost $800. I really think that it's a bit pricey, and I think that it's important to get this on sale, my personal opinion. And the reason for that is because there are some conductivity issues. So like I said, on certain areas of the skin, for me personally, when I use it, you may not have that same problem, but at an $800 price, you're going to want it to work perfectly, right? So they're always having sales, and I think it's really important to get this at a discounted price. That's my personal opinion. So what I want to do now, okay, is I actually want to pair this device with the SlimX. I've done a whole video on this. This is actually an EMS laser light device. I've done before and afters on this device, and I felt that this device really gave me plumpness in the skin that I didn't get from here, but I feel like I got a lot more structure and a lot more lift here. And I think that combining these two might be seriously like the perfect combination for this area. That's what I'm going to start doing now. I'm going to be combining these two. So subscribe. You're not going to want to miss that video. All right. If you have any questions, please let me know, because I'm always really good at getting back to you. Also, let us know if you have this device. We would really love to know, are you loving it? Are you having any conductivity issues using the masks? I would love to know, and so would everyone else. So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you do not miss my upcoming videos. Until next time.